All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's video, Sunday, July 27th. And today we are going to, instead of taking a look back, kind of a Fed history thing, which I usually do on Sundays, today we're going to be looking kind of forward, but we have to use the past as a reference, that being some of the Fed milestones and some records that are in place in the league. And so, things that we should see this year. There's a couple I have little asterisks on here, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but very possible we could see a lot of milestones reached, and a couple of them are pretty big. So I wanted to go through it. Now, every year we have the teams on their Facebook and Instagram pages and whatnot will post, congratulations to Jan Salak. Who was it? Or Alex Johnson, Port Huron. He reached 400 Fed games played. It'll be listed, the 100th point reached in the Fed, stuff like that, and those are big important milestones. Some milestones are bigger than others, though, so I want to focus on those. First of all, well, my thing's not booting up here with my notes, so we'll just set that off to the side. All right, I'll do my best to remember some of the records. For those of you who are newer Fed fans, you may not be familiar with a lot of the records and the plateaus that have been established in league history. For example, most points scored by anybody all time. That is Ahmed Mahfouz. He scored 885 points. Now, again, if you're newer to the Fed, you may think, oh, that's not an awful lot. But keep in mind, first of all, single A, fewer games. NHL, you've got 82, soon to be 84. In the Fed, you have 56. All right. And this also goes for the SPHL too. You don't see huge monumental plateaus reached because the season's shorter. Typically, with the lower level of hockey, careers don't last as long, with the exception of a few players like Molivak and Mahfouz and some others. Usually, players are maximum 5-6 years, and then they're done, and they go on to doing whatever else they do in their lives. So you don't have 1,000-point scorers. You don't have goalies with 200 wins. You don't have that. So some of the records, they may seem a little low, but for a 56-game season, it's pretty good performances by some players. So, all right, I'll mention this to lead off with the 600-point club. If this happens, Matt Graham from the Port Huron Prowlers, he needs 69 points to reach 600 career. That would be second all time. Again, Mahfouz, first on the list, 885. Number 2 right now is Tyler Jurich. He has 580 something. Again, my notes aren't here. So right now, 69 points. I don't know if Matt Graham can reach it. He can if he has a really good season. He's a point per game player, so he'd have to push it a little bit. But point per game player, that would put him just past Mafuz. Excuse me, past Jurich. Excuse me, sorry about that. And he would become the number 2 scorer all time. Nobody's going to reach Mafuz. It's just not going to happen. All right, so that is a big plateau. We'll see what happens with Matt Graham this year. Hopefully, with him not having to focus so much on the coaching aspect, and he can focus a little bit more on being a player. Hopefully, he reaches it. All right, 500-point club. Yanni Lariakos. This would be he would be the 4th person to reach 500 points. Now, Lariakos, very talented player. Of course, with things that happen and him having to take as much time off from playing in the Fed as he did, does he still have it in him to get 91 points in a season? I don't know. Last full season he played was the 2022-23 season, and he had 105 points, 101 or 105. So a lot of this, I'm going on memory here since I don't have my notes. So yes, Lariakos for the Monroe Moccasins could reach 500 points, but he would have to have quite the phenomenal year. To put this in perspective, 91 points last year would have been 3rd highest in the league with scoring. Nobody else, there were only 2 players that got 90 points or more. So that's why there are little asterisks there. Now, 400 points, that is a very reachable plateau for, I listed the top 5, and I think these are the 5 that could, and if they play this year and are healthy, they should reach this. You got Jan Salak from Carolina, only 10 points away. He's got 390 points now. I don't know. I haven't heard if Kyle Powell is intending on coming back. The last 2 years, even though he hasn't played a full season, it seems like his game has kind of gone down a notch. 11 points, though, if he were to play 30 games, I think he could reach 400 points. 11 points. Most of those are assists. He's got an insane amount of assists. Gus Ford, again, assuming he's coming back, 31 points. That's child's play for Ford. Yuri Pastuka, 48 points. So that's almost a point per game. And then Johnny Ruiz, Danbury hat tricks. I think he's going to have much better offensive production this year, not having to worry about coaching. He's focused more on playing. 55 points. Yeah, definitely doable for Johnny Ruiz. Yeah, I expect Ruiz to hit about 70 points this year. That's just my own personal projection. All right, 300 points. That's the last plateau we'll look at as far as total points. Tyson Kirkby, Binghamton Black Bears, he is 31 points away. Not bad. He's in his 5th season overall. Danny Martin, Blue Ridge Bobcats, he's on this board a lot, as is Matt Graham, as is your Yanni Lariakos. Danny Martin, 40 points away. If he's in Blue Ridge the whole year, we know he's gone back and forth between the Fed and the SP. If he spends substantial time in Blue Ridge, I think he can do that. Dustin Jasso, 48 points. Looks like Jasso is planning on playing a full season. So last year was the first time he played a full season. Looks like he's planning on doing that again. So 48 points for him. Very, very easy to reach. He's a 2-point per game career player. Do the math. That's 24 games. Austin Federle from the Port Huron Prowlers. Now, this is a little bit of a stretch. He needs 62 points. He could do it. Last year was his best year. He's been around a long time. as far as Fed players go. This is his 10th season coming up. Austin Federle, last year, point per game. 56 games. So he's got to up it a little bit if he's going to reach 300 points. But it's in the realm of possibility. All right. We'll mention this and then we'll go to the other, we'll go over here and then down. 750 penalty minutes. Yeah, it's kind of a plateau. Dustin Gisso for the PD Ice Cats, he needs 71. And if he reaches 79, he will be 5th all-time on the list. Joe Pace is tops on the list with 1852 in his career. There are 3 players that have hit 1,000 penalty minutes. Do you gloat over that? I don't know. But anyway, it's a plateau, and he may reach it. All right, let's go over here. Talk about goals, because that's more fun to talk about than penalty minutes, in my opinion. I'm not dissing Gisso. I'm just saying, we go to see the goals. So Johnny Ruiz is only 14 away from 200 goals. Now, to put this into perspective, there are 4 people in the career, the whole time of the Fed, that have hit 200 goals. You have Justin Browson is the lowest at 214. All right, you also have Dalton J. You have Tyler Jurich, 302, and Ahmed Mahfouz is actually second with 295. So Johnny Ruiz could hit it. Matt Graham at 38. Matt Graham's more of an assist guy than he is a goal scorer, but he has been around a while. If he had just a phenomenal breakout year and he hit 38 goals, he'd reach the 200 goal club. The next closest are over 50 goals away. So I'm not even going to go there. There have been 13 players in the whole history of the 16 years of the Fed that have hit 50 goals. So it doesn't happen very often. All right, the 100 goal plateau, very reachable. And I just listed the top 5. All right, Peter Panachik, 1 goal away. I thought he was going to get it last year. I really did. I was pulling for him to do it. Came up just short. Austin Thompson, the Binghamton Black Bears, 5 goals away. Danny Martin, once again, here he is again, 7 goals away. Austin Federle, 14 away. And that's surprising to me. You would think that Federle would have more goals, especially with how good he is in shorthanded and shootout situations. But of course, the problem is shootout goals don't count. So there you go. That's the caveat. Scotty Koash from Topeka, 18 away. So I think these 3 players, if they come back and play a full year, I think they reach those plateaus. 400 assists in a career. Matt Graham, once again, Port Huron, 31 away. This, I think, is more attainable than the 200 goals. I expect, if Matt Graham plays a full year and he's healthy, I expect him to reach that, no problem. 300 career assists, Yanni Lariakos, 35 away. Again, if he's able to play the full year, very reachable. 200 assists, the top 5, we have Alex Johnson. Port Huron is only 2 away. He's got 198 assist career. Johnny Butita coming back for another year, 4 away from 200 assists. That should not be a problem. Lane King, now I haven't heard if he is coming back or not, but right now he is on Carolina's roster. He only needs 5 assists more. Gavin Yates, Binghamton, 25 away. I think that's pretty reachable. And then there's Danny Martin again, 33. So Danny Martin can really have a bang-up breakout season with 40 points total, 33 assists, 7 goals. There he goes. With that, he hits all 3 plateaus. All right, games played, and this for this I'm just doing a countdown because obviously this is continually rolling. Matt Graham, these are the top 10 active players as far as games played. You have Matt Graham with 442, 28 more, and he gets the number 2 all time behind Joe Pace, who's at 531. I don't think that gets touched. Maybe it does. I don't know. Yuri Pastuka, 424, only needs 14 more to lock himself in the 4th place all time with games played. You have Alex Johnson just reached a 400 game plateau, 404. Jan Salak, 348. He could hit 400. Would have to stay healthy all season, but it's doable. Kyle Powell, same thing if he comes back. Danny Martin, well, who did we just talk about? Deja vu. 332 for Martin right now. Austin Federer is at 315. John Butita, 282. He could reach 300, as could Yanni Lariakos and Johnny Ruiz. All right. The last categories that we're going to look at is goalies. All right. We got to look at goalies. Now, again, it doesn't sound like much, but the record for wins, career wins, in the FPHL is held by Matt Anthony, 103 career wins. That is tops. All right. Number 2 is 72. So that's why I wrote down 73 wins. And this is quite attainable. Now, a little bit of, I won't call it breaking news because right now it is a what if scenario. Okay, you see I have an asterisk next to Mario Cavallari's name. There is some debate as far as whether or not Cavallari is going to come back this year. I know he just signed a PTO, but I am hearing things from behind the scenes that he may opt for retirement. Right now, that's a what if. But right now, he is the career leader as far as active players with wins. He has 62. So if he were to come back and play and get 11 wins, he moves into 2nd place all time on the Fed list. A couple other players. Trevor Babin, we know he's coming back for the Columbus River Dragons. He needs 15 wins to reach that 73 plateau to become number 2. Brennan Colgan, currently under contract with Watertown. He needs 18. So those are very reachable plateaus, I believe. Now, to get to 50 wins, it's a little easier. We have 4 players that could crack 50 this year. We have Mario Cavallari already has cracked it. Actually, all 3 of these players have already cracked 50. So that's why they're not mentioned down here. They're already past 50. Connor McAnanima, he needs 1. He's got 49 career regular season wins. Yes, I know he has 14 playoff wins too, but right now we're just looking at, all these records are just regular season. Connor McAnanima, 1 win. Connor McCollum from Danbury Hat Tricks needs 4. It's currently at 46. Sammy Bernard for Topeka, 14. Obviously, he's the number 1 guy. He reaches 50. Boris Babic, Carolina, potentially going to be the number 1 guy this next year. 15 to hit 50. Now, I didn't mention 1 player because some Danbury fans are probably waving at me at the camera. Frankie McClendon. He has 52 career wins. So he would need 21 wins to reach 73. I didn't write him down because McClendon has always been primarily a backup. He hasn't been a number 1 guy. So I don't see him reaching 21 wins. At least not this year. So, even if he comes back and signs and plays, fine. But you figure he's probably going to be good for 10 wins because he's probably going to get like 20 starts at most. All right. 10 shutouts. It's 10 shutout plateau. Now, I have to mention this. The current record holder in the Fed, as far as career shutouts, is an active player. That is Brennan Colgan. Now, if you go to the Fed website, you'll see he's only credited with 5 shutouts. That is incorrect. All right. 3 seasons ago, he had 7 shutouts with the Columbus River Dragons, only credited with 1 for some reason in the Fed records. But if you go through a game-by-game breakdown through Columbus history, you'll see shutout, Colgan, shutout, Colgan, shutout, Colgan. 7 shutouts during the 22-23 season. So, unfortunately, he got cheated. So he has 13 career shutouts, 7 in 1 year. So that's your record holder. All right. So no other player has reached 10 yet, but this next year, very possible. Cody Karpinski, if he returns and plays again with Monroe, only needs 2 more. He's at 8. Connor McAnanima, again, we're just counting the regular season, not counting that fantastic run that he had in the playoffs this last year. He has 6 total, so he needs 4 more. Connor McCollum, Danbury, needs 6 to reach 10. That's possible if he returns. And then, again, there's the big if. Mario Cavallari, he's got 8 total, not 9. He's on the other side of the coin. Colgan had shutouts taken away from him in the Fed records. Cavallari was credited with an extra shutout last year. He had 6, not 7. Unfortunately, Fed records, especially when it comes to goaltenders, not too accurate. I did a lot of digging through multiple sites. I used HockeyDB. I used Elite Prospects, as well as the Fed website, to get a lot of these goalie totals. Unfortunately, there was not a comprehensive list as far as total wins for goalies anywhere, so I literally had to manually go through every team, every year, all the records. It took a long time to compile that information. I knew the number for Matt Anthony, but as far as the other goaltenders that are on the all-time win list, I wrote them down here on my little scratch pad. Jocelyn St. Pierre, 72. Nick Neidert, 71. Mike Brown, 70. And then Chris Paulin, 52. The other players are all active. So there you go. Goaltenders have never lasted very long in the Fed, and so we'll see. We'll see if any of these records come to pass. I think we do see some of these 50 wins, but there you go. So those are some highlights and milestones to watch for this year. They should happen. The majority of the ones that are on here should happen sometime this year, and when it does, we will celebrate. And hey, congratulations to Peter Panicek on his 100th goal, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so there you go. There's our list. And next thing up, Tuesday, news and notes. We have big announcements from the Zydeco. Also, the Blue Ridge Bobcats said they have some kind of an announcement coming up. I have a feeling it has to do with merchandise, but I don't know. We'll find out. The announcements for both of these teams are on Monday, so we'll talk about it on Tuesday. All right, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting like. Please subscribe. We just hit 702 with subscribers on the YouTube channel. Thank you very, very much. Very appreciative of that. But there's still a lot of people that watch the videos that aren't subscribed. So please do. Also, make sure to follow me on the Flash Audio Network. We do updates every Thursday. And please, please, please make sure to follow me on Facebook. That's where you're going to find all the newest information, the most current information. I post things as quickly as I can and keep you up to date there. So go to the Facebook page, Fed League Flash. All right, I'm Gary Ryan. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.